Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our online open week session for the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning. My name's Michaela Thomas, and I'm helping to facilitate these sessions during the week, and I'm really excited to have you all here with us. We have a fantastic program awaiting you guys, some really interesting things coming up in the slides. With me, I have quite a few of the colleagues who will be speaking to you, but also, guys, we do have a few housekeeping rules, of course, we have to go through every session. On the right-hand side, we have a chat box. Please say hello to us. We'd love to chat with you as well. Tell us where you're beaming in from. I'm sitting in Cape Town. It's a warm, sunny day, which is fantastic in winter, and I've got my slippers on. It's still slightly cold. At the bottom of your screen, guys, we do have an Ask a Question facility and a poll facility. We do have a poll running live currently. If at any point during the session you're like, I want to know more, I have a question, please ask there, or you want to know something and we want to get in contact with you, pop a yes in the poll. We'll send you an email. We'll get one of our fantastic advisors to have a chat with you afterwards and run you through the specific details if you'd like to study with us. So don't forget, guys, as I've said, chat on the right, poll at the bottom, and ask a question as well if you've got any questions for our fantastic speakers. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Khadi, who's going to start us off. Thank you so much, Khadi.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to today's session. It's a great privilege to be speaking to prospective students, and I see some of them are current students as well. Perhaps you're busy with the higher certificate, and you're interested in the advanced certificate. So it's great to have you with us. This morning, I actually thought the session is very nice. It's an online session that you can join for an hour or two, wherever you are. You can join it from the office, from home. Watch it at your leisure, and it's kind of similar to studying with Mopak. So I think the session kind of suits the style of learning that we offer to our students. And we're going to be spending some time with you. Of course, we're going to introduce you and explain just what our service offering is and what we specialize in and how we present our training. But I also want you to get to know us a little bit. One of the things about online learning and distance learning that the research says that students sometimes feel they're dealing with a big system. You feel like you're dealing with a big corporate and you don't know what the people are like. And I hope today that we're just going to show you that we're just ordinary people, normal people who believe in what we're doing and trying to do the best for our students. Okay, so let's jump into who Mopak is, and this is a short slide. At the moment, we're part of a listed company. The company owns the Stadia Holdings brand. They own a bunch of tertiary education institutions. And I think the takeaway here is just to say, listen, we're still going to be around here for a long time. We do have a long history as well. I think it's one of the questions the students sometimes have is, who's Mopak? And will my qualification mean something in 5 or 10 years time? And it just say we are still going to be around here. And Mopak itself doesn't only have a financial planning side, we also have quite a few other departments. We've got a business school with a very good MBA. We've got a banking service department. So we're quite a diversified education group. We've got lots of experience in distance education in various niche fields. Okay. Also, just speaking to the history, and Kelly, we can move to the next slide here. Yeah, thank you. A little bit faster than I thought. So as you can see, we've existed since '97, and we've got a campus in Melville. It's not really applicable to the financial planning side. We don't on financial planning we offer distance learning only. So most of the time you'll be interacting through our course page, and I'll talk to that a little bit later. And I think that suits the working environment very nicely. What we want to do and what we want to bring and what we're working towards is to provide Africans with the opportunity to reimagine their future through flexible, accessible, supportive, and lifelong business education. I think that's a very nice, I think this is a very nice mission statement. It does speak to, it does describe what we do. We are very flexible, and we'll talk about that later, but we've got, at the moment, we're offering online exams. Last year when the lockdown hit, we were ready for that. We adapted to that. We try and support our students in various ways. And we're really nicely set up for somebody. You can study to us full-time, and that works and works very well, but it particularly works well if you're already working and you want to combine studies and work at the same time. this is a particularly good solution. Our offering is a very good solution to that kind of student who wants to work and study at the same time. Okay, and these are our offerings. So just a quick overview of what we offer in the School of Financial Planning and Insurance. We've got qualifications all the way from NQF level 5 right up to the postgraduate diploma in financial planning. And if I can just position it a little bit, our high certificate in financial planning is really a foundational qualification. It meets a lot of your compliance requirements and very good basis. I hope that some of the students that are busy with that qualification are watching this and want to go into the advanced certificate. The advanced certificate in financial planning is it's a very specialized qualification. It only deals with financial planning modules. So in that way, it differs a little bit to our BCom. BCom is much wider qualification. So in the BCom, you'll do economics, general economics, and you'll do some law and, you know, marketing and different things. The advanced certificate is very specialized, only financial planning modules. And, you know, coming from a practical background, I used to be a practicing financial planner, and I can say that the advanced certificate covers quite a bit of ground. And I think most of the time, the advanced certificate deals with the situations that you come across in practice as a normal financial planner in let's say, I don't know, 80–90% of the cases. Of course, you do perhaps want to go further to the postgraduate diploma in financial planning. It's a very prestigious qualification, and it meets the qualification requirement of the CFP, or Certified Financial Planner designation. And there are reasons why you want to go to the postgraduate. For some of you, it's just completing your education. And, you know, I think you start off in financial planning and you're dealing with clients and you're kind of making your business work. And then after a while, you think, oh, I need a little bit more. You know, I want to have a little bit more insight into what I'm doing. And then you typically go to the advanced certificate and eventually onto the postgraduate diploma. So it works quite nicely if you study with us and you start with the NQF5, go to the NQF6, and then from there, there is a way of getting into the NQF8 through our recognition for prior learning entry requirements. And students do that tend to have good success in the postgraduate diploma and also in the board exam that the FPI prescribes. So talking about the FPI, let me just accept there. So once you do this qualification, you meet the qualification requirements to register as an FSA professional with the Financial Planning Institute. It does have some other requirements, and obviously you have to contact the Financial Planning Institute to meet with them. The Financial Planning Institute is just a fantastic body. It's the professional body of our industry. And I think I just want to show you that we are affiliated to them and we work closely together with them, both on this qualification, on our certificate, and also on the postgraduate diploma. And we are all, most of us are certified financial planners, and we're part of the industry and very proud to be part of this, of the institute. We're just fighting for the rights of clients and really setting the standard in the industry. So yeah, just to show you that we are linked to them in some ways. So moving on to the types of people for whom this qualification is ideal. So you can see self-employed people, all different kind of financial planning, people who give financial planning at the coal face, paraplanners as well. I think paraplanning is growing as a career, perhaps even, or at least an interim stepping stone to becoming a fully fledged financial planner. And there are quite a few opportunities I see to work as a paraplanner, and the advanced certificate will help you quite a bit on that route because it's so focused on financial planning knowledge. It will really help you to prepare financial plans for your, let's say, your lead financial advisors, and to render a good service to them. Also your also intermediary service. You know, so you could be involved in a company in various kinds of capacities. You know, maybe as a BC or on the administrative side, and the advanced certificate is going to help you understand the processes and take that further. I think also on the employed side, something that we also find that works well is people who are in some kind of managerial capacity. You know, you have a team, you're really a manager, but in the financial planning space, and the advanced certificate gives you that knowledge to lead your team well, to understand the challenges that they're faced with, to engage with some of the technical challenges that they deal with, and it is something that works for typically for somebody who's in a managerial capacity. And I just want to mention the BCs, the broker consultants. Again, I think there's quite a big there's quite a big field there. If you don't, if you're in the financial planning industry and you don't know what they're about, they're basically the representatives from the different product providers, and they help the financial advisors in various ways. And it seems to be an enjoyable career, especially if you like working with people on a daily basis. Okay, so quick introduction to our staff. So as you can see, I have the program oversight owner, and I also lecture on some of the modules. Then we have Sune, Brunhilde, and Pichu as our lecturers, and our wonderful program manager, Zulpha Bardien. And she will speak to you a little bit. All of them will have a chance to chat to you a little bit later. All of us, just on the lecture side, have got practical experience. So we're not just a theoretical, we don't just talk from a theoretical base. Our approach at Molpok is that it's got to be a really practical, and we often, it helps to have been in practice. We can relate what the theory to, okay, how does this apply in practice, and what do you need to know to use this in practice? So very practical approach that we use. And then going on to the modules, and just to, we're going to give you a quick overview of this. All of the lectures will have a chance to introduce their modules to you in a little bit more depth later. But the modules that you're going to work through, the first two foundational modules on this qualification is the legal aspects module. Anything financial planning generally has some kind of legal basis, and that module, that module is the first foundational block of this qualification, to set the scene, to understand how the different legislation fits together, and it's going to help you a lot in the other modules. The next module is your tax module, and tax is another one of the foundational knowledge fields of financial planning, something that you've got to know. Almost every financial planning decision has some kind of tax implication or some way to avoid taxes. And I think one thing I can guarantee you is when you finish this qualification, you're going to learn a couple of things. And one of the things you're definitely going to be able to do is to probably do your own personal tax return. And yes, taxes are very important. It's going to equip you to do that. Moving on to the corporate financial planning module. This module, we're looking at providing financial advice for businesses, and we're providing a lot of background, just understanding business entities and financial statements, but then also looking at specific solutions for businesses to help them overcome problems that they face with in practice. As I'm talking about that, look at the credit rating of the modules. Can you see the first three modules have got 20 credit ratings, and the personal financial module has got a 25 credit rating. So when you're planning your studies and choosing the sequence of your modules, note that the credit rating gives you an idea of how much work a module is. And as you see, the personal financial module is our heaviest module in terms of workload. And it's because it's got a lot of calculations in. You do retirement needs analyses, estate planning, investment planning, and so nice running that module for us. Big module, but a very very practical module that students tend to enjoy. We also have two elective on this qualification. So all of the you've got 5 modules that you have to do, and you can choose one between two of them. One of the 2 electives, and very quickly, the one is a business management module. It's kind of a generic business management module with a focus on financial planning, just areas that are specifically financial planning, like practice management, or perhaps just financial planning in a big insurance company or in one of those related fields. Trust law is focused on the legislation around trusts. We can perhaps cover this in the question and answer session a little bit later. Generally, I think the kind of decision that you need to make, if you look at these two options, which one you should take, depends on where you see your career going. If you see you moving into a technical field, perhaps in the fiduciary field, and trust law is probably a little bit better because it gives you trust often involved in winding up in the estate, the succession planning, transferring wealth to the next generation. So there's often trust involved when somebody dies, and it's a way to perhaps structure your estate duty. Business management, I think if you are involved in almost any kind of field for a period of time, you inevitably move into some kind of managerial position, or you get some managerial responsibility where you have to address certain things, lead people to a lesser or to a greater extent. So if you're not sure, and if you can't really see yourself moving in a technical direction, I think business management is probably the one to do. And then your last module is the practical application module, a very interesting module. It consists of case studies where you evaluate it and then provide actual advice to clients. It's got an open book exam at the end, just to give you an idea of what its nature is like. And it uses knowledge from all the previous modules. So you have to use knowledge from tax, from legal, from corporate financial planning to answer the questions in the practical application module. So nice pulling it together towards the end, and also very similar to what happens on your postgraduate diploma in financial planning. So our mode is a distance learning mode, and online. We use an online medium to do our distance learning. Everything basically takes place on our online platform. You do get a physical study guide, but for the rest, we've got a course page for every module, and that's really where all the action takes place. You have to visit that very regularly, and it allows you to study at your own time, to study after hours, to squeeze in something in your lunch hour, and it's got a lot of support material that helps you get through your work. I think one of the most important and unused support material that we provide is a study plan, a worked out study plan, that you can kind of work. If you just follow the instructions from the study plan, you should get through your work in time. And so the next question you're going to ask me is, okay, that's fine, but what if I don't understand something? What if I get stuck and I don't understand what I need to do next? We do have other support to speak to that. I think one thing about us is our study material is set up specifically for distance learning students. So it's set up in a way that discusses the theory, provides an example, and gives you an exercise, so you kind of work through it one step at a time in a very logical way. We also have a tutor, and the tutor, we've got a tutor forum. It's like a chat room on our course pages, and they provide support to you that the tutor. So I think typically you would study, let's say you study over a weekend, on a Saturday evening, you go through something and you're like, oh, I don't understand how this works. Instead of waiting till Monday to ask it in a lecture, you can immediately post it on the tutor forum, and the tutor should get back to you within his turnaround time is about 2 days. It's a very handy function. I'll show you what it looks like just a bit later. We also provide additional support. We also have some live sessions. It's like a small class, but a little bit different, that we present, and we also provide some videos. We know that students study in different ways, and some people have to see something visually to understand it, so we got those. And generally, our system works to take you through the work. If you just follow the system, you put in the time, the system kind of takes you through it and facilitates everything to you and helps you go through your assessments. Most of the modules on this qualification have got 2 online tests and 1 assignment. Those are your formative submissions that count 30% towards your final mark. So the formative submissions are really also part of engaging with the knowledge. You have these smaller online tests, so they also help you identify where you've got gaps in your knowledge. If you don't understand something, you look at the test, you're like, oh, I don't get this, and then you can post it on the tutor forum, and the tutor can then take it from there. and your final summative is counts 70% towards your final mark, and you need to score at least 40% in that final, and an overall mark of 50%. But really, you probably need to look at passing that final mark. The chances that your formative is going to be enough to put you through is not that great. Formative should be seen as part of your preparation. And we offer every module. Well, we've got a semester-based module, so we offer it. Most of our modules in both semesters. You wouldn't, if we just early on the slides, I think the trust law is the only one that's only offered in this second semester for this qualification. And now I'd like to take to show you what your course page looks like. As you can see, this is an actual legal aspects course page. It's got very nicely set up in tabs, overview, content, formative tabs where your online testing assignments are. There's a tab for your live at Milpark sessions where all the live sessions takes place, and a tab for your summative. So it's very clearly set out, and all the information is organized in the right place. On the first tab, what you find is the tutor forum. The tutor forum is, I just wanted to give you just a sample of what the tutor forum looks like, a tutor query. As you can see, the student in this case, and I've blocked out their names, asks the question, the tutor responds. There's a little bit of back and forth. It's nice and interactive. What you can also do is look at other students. You can see what other students are doing and what other students are. So in that way, you learn from other students and you learn what they're busy with. Very, very good functionality. I think probably the most useful thing on our course page in terms of support. If you work through the material, you get stuck with something, go to the tutor forum. Then looking at our online material, I told you get a physical study guide, but you also have an electronic version that we host through a service. It's almost like a Kindle for academic books called Vital Source. And it's very useful to look up information. It's got a search functionality, and you can download it to an app on your tablet, use it on your browser, on your computer as well. And you can see on this page also some of the additional content that we provide. Sample summative assessment is a past exam. We provide one past exam. So just something that you can practice before you go into final exam to prepare you for your final assessment. Then your formative assessments, as you can see, nicely organized in one tab. At the bottom, you'll see your 2 online tests, and you'll also see your assignment. So you do your assignment here, your assignment uploads very much. If you've completed a tax return through SARS, you know what this is like. Just upload some supporting documents. So everything is nice and cleanly organized. It's very safe. It's much better than in the past. Distance learning used to work through post. Now it's just uploading onto the system. There's a nice electronic record of those, and it makes it nice and accessible. And here's an example of your live sessions. So you can see we're hosting it through Microsoft Teams. We give you a Milpark account with Microsoft Teams, and when you click on those, you can participate in the sessions, join it, but all the sessions are recorded as well. So you can also watch it later if it's at a time that suits you. And just some additional support as well. So every module is a little bit different. So the lecture on that module decides what to give you, but they can upload. As you can see, this one's got a board notice uploaded. Could have additional articles, additional exercises, all kinds of different support material to enrich your learning experience and to also help you get through those difficult kind of concepts. So there's a quick fly through of your what your course page look like, and I'm now going to hand over to our wonderful program manager, Zulpha. Zulpha, students are lucky to have you. Take it from here.
Thank you so much, Hiri. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the open day. Thank you for joining us and for taking the time to join us. I'm Zulpha Bardien. I'm the program manager for the Advanced Certificate in Financial Planning qualification. I've been around for 14 years with Milpark and in this program management role for about 8 years. So literally part of the furniture. So my role is to offer you the best support that I can, the guidance and the correct direction. So I'm here, I'm an email away. I think this is a very good gesture because I am a real person behind those correspondence, emails, and so on. So that's my role. I deal with all non-academic queries. So everything administrative that you wish to query, you can pop me an email. And with that, we also have a student support team that is there to support you with any other queries that you might have. So that's my role. I'm here to assist, to fill your journey with ease as a student, and to create a safe space so that you can complete your qualification with ease. A bit about my personal self. I have 3 kids. So yes, the lifestyle is hectic, working, kids, but importantly to keep the balance. So I go and de-stress at the beach or outdoors. It brings me peace. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm a bit nervous, so please be with me. I'm a person with few words, I would say, but big actions. So that's me. Michaela, you can move to the next slide. Okay, so I'll take you through our admission requirements for this qualification. It is either our higher certificate in financial planning level 5 qualification, a national certificate in wealth management level 5 qualification, and importantly, an appropriate BCom degree to gain entrance onto this qualification. We also offer recognition of prior learning, but this is a limited intake. With the recognition of prior learning, we'll have to see your CV and also a minimum experience of 10 years in the industry. So we'll be happy to grant you admission onto the qualification if these requirements are met. Okay, so the qualification consists of 6 modules, 5 of which is compulsory modules, and you can choose 1 elective from 2. As Gerrie took you through the modules, the lecturers will soon take you through what the modules entails, but it's 5 compulsory modules and 1 elective to choose from. Next slide, Michaela. So there is a suggested rules of progression to follow through on the qualification. So the academic staff has put this together so that you can achieve and go through these progression rules and select the modules in this order so that you can get the foundational knowledge and go through the modules as best as they've instructed. So I can say that they have, as Gerrie mentioned, they have the practical knowledge and the academic knowledge. So I suggest that you follow the rules of progression in the order that they have suggested. Okay, on completion of the qualification, you'll receive 120 credits for this qualification. We normally have a formal graduation. It's been online this year due to the COVID, but it is a 120 credit qualification, and you will receive a certificate once completed. You could progress to our BCom, majoring in financial planning, but we also have an RPL admission for our postgraduate diploma, which is a level 8 in financial planning. So that is it from my side. We've launched our Capitec funding, which is something new. You can find this on our landing page on the Milpark website, so you can check it out. And we hope that you come and register with us. Our admissions closes on the 9th of July, and registrations will close on the 23rd of July. Take care. It was nice. It was nice
lovely to hear from you, Zulpha. No, I think it's
Thank
fantastic
you very
that we can hear about the people behind the courses, and I'm sure everybody's glad that you will be behind them and finishing and going through. And I think, yeah, just to remind you guys that there is a poll live. If you want to, be a part of this, come meet Zulpha. Say yes on the poll. We'd love to have you. So for the moment, I say thank you so much, Zulpha, for letting us know a bit more about you. And I'm going to bring back our lecturers. So if you just give me a second. I'm just going to reveal. So we have Pietro Oudendal here. Give me a second. We have Sune van Skalkwyk. And I want to bring back the lovely Gerrie as well. And I'm going to also bring in Brunhilde. She's also on the qualification. Give me a second. But for the moment, hello, guys. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
It's the first time I've been called lovely in many years.
Lovely. I love saying lovely. So guys, if you have any questions for our team at the moment, please just pop them in the Ask a Question facility. This is just to remind you guys that we will have a Q&A towards the end, and we will take all of those questions. But for now, I'm going to hand over to our lovely academic staff and lecturers. There is Brunhilde, awesome. And you can go through the modules in the program. Over to you guys.
Okay, Brunhilde, are you going to take us the first two of your modules? Are you going to just give us a little bit more background on those?
Yes, thank you, Harry. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. It's lovely to talk to all of you. Okay, so like Harry mentioned, legal aspects for financial planning would be like the cornerstone or the backbone of your studies at the advanced certificate. And in this module, we look at the regulatory environment, and we also then look at legislation applicable not only to financial planners, but as well as the financial planning practices, the clients and the client products. And then we also touch on factors that impact on a client's status or his capacity to transact. So in all of this, we have a overview of the FASE Act, the General Code of Conduct. We look at the treating customers fairly. We look at the National Credit Act in short. We look at FICA and POPI, which everyone is familiar with. And then we also look at contractual law, delictual law, short-term and long-term insurance. And then also we look at marital regimes, the age of clients, how that can affect their capacity and insolvency as well as death. So that's the broad overview of legal aspects. So anything legal that you might encounter in your financial planning environment, we will be touching on that in this module. Okay, and then just looking at the taxation for financial planners. This module is exactly what it says. It is about taxation. We cover the regulatory environment or ethical behavior with regards to tax, making sure that you act properly. And then we also have a detailed look at the income tax sections available to individuals as well as businesses. And then we also just look there also at, when we look at tax, we include normal income tax. We also include retirement lump sum benefit taxes, as well as the capital gains tax that we look at in this module. So this module also very important for your studies as a financial planner, as everything in your financial planning somewhere has some type of tax involved in it. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, going on to the corporate financial planning module. So it's really focused on providing financial advice to businesses. And it starts with a nice basis of the different business entities that you in South Africa, you know, difference between corporate CCs, companies, and those kinds of, and how it impacts on financial planning. Then we also cover some financial statement stuff. Now, if you are involved in financial planning for businesses, you know, the first thing you want to do is look at the financial statements of that business, because it just tells you the story of the business, what's really going on, and you really need that to advise businesses. So in the module, we teach you not to draw up financial statements, but to read it and to use it and to find information from that. We also cover healthcare, so that'd be medical schemes and some insurance cover, particularly as it applies in an employee benefit in the employee benefit space, also retirement funds with a focus on employee benefit space. So again, just looking at it from a view of retirement solutions for businesses. And the core of this module then is the different business assurance solutions, stuff like a key person or a buy and sell solution. So we'll teach you to identify those. You know, it often comes out in your discussions with a business. You know, sometimes they'll come to you with a need, and sometimes they will they're just your clients and they talk to you about something, and you can probe a little bit and identify what they need. And then you can help them structure those and, make tax, there could be tax implications, how to prepare for the tax implications. And so it's quite a nice module. I do enjoy this module quite a bit, and it's a valuable. It's a nice. Most of the modules are focused on personal financial planning. This one is a little bit on the business side, so it provides a little bit of variation and extra depth. Then I'll quickly around with business management because it's my other module. And as I said, the business management module. Also quite a wide module. It discusses leadership and how to lead your team, different leadership styles, how to manage your team. We discuss financial planning specific stuff, how the legislation affects managing in a financial planning practice. We also do kind of generic management, things like recruitment and selection, drawing up an IT system, performance management, and then we also soft skills type things, mentoring, coaching, those things. The one thing about the nature of the business management module, I think compared to the rest of them it's a module with a lot of studying and actually a lot of writing, where most of our other modules are kind of very technical, where you have to analyze something and you do a calculation. Business management is slightly different in nature, so just keep that in mind when making your elective pick. And then Brunilda, can I ask you to take over on the trust law side again?
Yes, thank you, Harry. Okay, so the trust law, as Harry also mentioned, this is only available for one semester in the year, which is the second semester. And in this module, also, it's very specialized, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, obviously, not something that everyone's interested in. I personally have a deep love for the module and for trusts and dealing with trusts and the issues around trusts that can occur. In this module, we cover the basic principles of the law of tax, which includes anything from the roles, the rights, and the responsibilities of all the parties to a trust, like the trustees, the beneficiaries, and the founder. And then we also look at the taxation of trust and how that will impact on a person as well, like a beneficiary or a founder or donor, in terms of a trust donation and all of that. Quite interesting legislation, how legislation has changed over the last few years. So we look at that, and this will then enable you to advise your clients with regards to any tax or any related issues where trusts are involved. Like Harry also mentioned, sometimes they come up in estate planning, sometimes it's before estate planning where trusts are created. So we look at the different type of trusts as well. And just to give you a broad overview of what you can expect in the financial planning industry looking at trusts.
Okay. Next module is our personal financial planning module, the big one. Suneki, would you give students some of your in-depth insight on the personal financial planning module?
Hello everyone, morning. Yes, so in terms of personal financial planning, like Harry mentioned earlier, this is a 25 credit module. Practical work in this module, so yes, it takes up quite a bit of your time when studying, but it's really a lovely module. I just want to show you that you get some help. There is a study guide, and it's with all of the modules, so that's really great help. In terms of this module, our head of school, you'll get to hear from her earlier, did nice arrangement on this module. She aligned it to be with the first steps of financial planning. So for those already working in the industry, this module as one of your compulsories is really structured nicely if you take it in the same semester with your practical financial planning module, but Pietro will get to that. In terms of this module, we look at step 1, where we establish and define the relationship of a client with the client and you as the advisor. Then we collect that information, we take you through a brief step there, and then in this module, a the core focus, I would say, is to analyze and assess that client financial status. This is really important because as we move in the industry, more and more financial tools comes available. Me, myself, coming from the financial planning industry as an advisor, paraplanner background, administrator, if you have the ability to calculate it on the side, this gives you further just advancement to your advisor or client that you can actually track that calculation tool correctly, because you need to know how to put in the correct assumptions. As so those who have been working in the industry, they will be aware. So that's the first 3 steps we focus on. We do add in here a bit of time value of money, where we just give you a basic again on the basic time value of money questions, which is really nice because you get to use your calculator, and we show you how to work that and how to actually do a calculation. So if you have to sit with a client and they quickly want to know what an investment will earn for them in the next 10 years, you will be able to do that. With regards to further detail in this module, we focus on risk, we look at estate planning, and then we also cover investment and retirement planning for an individual. So this is really a nice practical module. We do not get into advice at this point, but like I said, with the split of the 3 steps of the financial planning, this is a really nice module.
Thank you, Sine. Thank you for that detailed information. I'm now going to hand you over to Peter Wernendal, who's the head of our school and also runs the practical application module.
Thank you, Gerrie, and thank you, Sine. Yes, as Sine said, the practical application module follows on the personal financial planning module. We refer to them by their abbreviations PERF and PRAC. In PERF, as Sine said, you do steps 1, 2, and 3 of the 6-step financial planning process. And then in practical application, we move on to the last 3 steps, with a big emphasis being on the recommendations that you will make to clients. It is important that you have already passed PERF or that you are enrolled for personal financial planning at the same time as PRAC, because we expect of you to have all the knowledge that was covered in the personal financial planning module. We expect of you to be able to do an analysis so that you can then go on and make a recommendation to a client. It used to be one very, very big module, and we split it up into 2, and the 2 flow very nicely together. So if you do risk planning in personal financial planning, you deal with a case study there, and that same case study is dealt with in practical application when you then make a recommendation to that client, for example. It is also split up into risk planning, estate planning, investment planning, and retirement planning. So the same structure as in personal financial planning, but then the very last chapter or topic in practical application is the holistic planning, where we sit back and we say, we cannot just deal with the client looking at individual needs. We need to look at the client as a whole in a holistic capacity, and we need to give advice and make recommendations based on the client's holistic needs. So the assessments, the assignment, and the exam on practical application is a case study. We give you lots of information about a client, about assets and liabilities and income and marital status and dependents and businesses and everything, and anything between a 2 and a 4-page case study. And then the whole of the assessment is based on that case study, where we ask you the typical questions that a client would ask you on a day-to-day basis should you be sitting in front of them. It is important that you understand that practical application builds on all the knowledge from the previous modules. So you need to understand little bits about the Credit Act and phase and FICA and estate duty that we covered in legal aspects. You need to know about Section 11F of the Income Tax Act that you did in the tax module. You need to know about business assurance solutions that you learned in this corporate financial planning module. And then you need to be able to do an analysis that you covered in the personal financial planning module. So it is best recommended and actually compulsory for you to have passed all the others, or at least enrolled for all the other modules. And then you end with a bang with the case study module. We follow the same approach on our BCom. So with BCom, you also end off with a case study, and on PGDIP, you also end off with a case study. So it also prepares you very well if you want to progress to one of our other qualifications, then you at least know what the structure is and what you can expect there as well.
Right. Can I quickly jump in there, Michaela? I just want to point out to everybody, look at how in practical application, how we focus, how we bring things together, and how we make it practical to, something similar to what you would experience in the workplace. So we try and do that in a way so that you can walk into the workplace and really be able to contribute immediately and not have to go through, find your feet in the workplace again to such a great extent.
Awesome. Thank you so much to the team for walking us through your fantastic modules. I'm sitting in marketing, but I definitely want to think about a financial planning career now. Sounds very interesting. So just before we bring back Zulpha for any Q&As, guys, I just want to let you know where you can find us. Please go and look at our Facebook page, our Twitter page, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We are hip, hot, and happening, as I like to say. We also have a fantastic website to go and find out more about the programs. If you want to know very specific detail, the information packs are there. So that's where you'll go if you want to take the next steps. This is one of the things I want to say quickly is if you want to apply now from the step, I say fill in the poll, say yes, we will contact you. Or if you are a go-getter and you want to get started by yourself, go to our website at www.milpark.ac.za, and then you can follow the steps for application using the form that is at the top of the page. So I'm going to take the slides away quickly, and I'm going to bring all of us back into view. They're fantastic, all of our beautiful speakers. And I'm also going to bring back Zulpha. Give me a second. But for the moment, guys, if you have any questions for our lovely speakers today, if you want to ask them specific questions, now's the time. I see, Kade, you've been answering people as we go through, which is, of course, awesome and amazing. But if you guys have any more specific detail, if you want to know if you qualify for anything, or, can I do this, or what is the process, please do click yes on the poll and we can get in contact with you. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Sorry, Michaela, can I address some of the queries that were posted as questions? So rest of you, I do keep track of the questions, so feel free to post something there. So Yolandi Albert has completed a postgrad in banking at Milpark, and you also want to do the postgrad in financial planning. So you're like us lecturers, study for life, you should fit in very nicely. Yolandi, I think the best way to do this is to just click on that poll and get somebody to get in contact with you. Also speaking to the next query, 2 queries about the postgrad diploma in financial planning. We've got an open session on Friday as well that you can join. The same way as this one, we'll be going to be talking about the postgrad diploma in financial planning. So that might be something you want to attend as well. Then Brian said, Brian's got an MBA already, and he wants to know if he qualifies for the advanced certificate. Yes, Brian, you do qualify for the advanced certificate. We'll accommodate you. But you would be most welcome. And I see there were some queries on the chat room, also on admission requirements. I wonder, Zulpha, perhaps you can just give us just a broad overview. There's somebody with the qualification in auditing. Maybe you could just talk about the entry requirements.
Sure, Hiri. So admission requirements. So the auditing diploma that he has, we'll need to see how much experience he's had in the industry, and then take it from there. Also, to see if there is modules that was covered on the auditing that overlaps with our qualifications. So we can have a look, and we can take it from there.
Great.
Yes, I just want to add, I wasn't sure if I was muted. I think it's important to understand that this NQF6 qualification, the advanced certificate, assumes that you have baseline knowledge of the industry.
Yes.
We expect that you have level 5 knowledge. You've completed your compliance requirements already. So we don't teach you the absolute basics. We teach you the next step up. And that is why, yes, you might have a master's degree in some completely other field, and then we will ask you to first do a level 5 qualification, because we need to make sure that you have the necessary baseline knowledge. If you don't have the level 5, we accept recognition of prior learning, we accept industry experience as your baseline knowledge. But we need you to know the absolute basics about products. That's the main thing. We need to know that you know about all the products out there, because we don't focus on that here. We just take it one step further.
Okay, can I also, I see there are two queries that maybe two further questions we asked. One student's waiting for a textbook. So Melissa, just get in contact with student services, and they will quickly sort you out on that side. So our student service team is quite quick on that. Maybe Zulpha, you can just throw an eye over just to make sure that Melissa gets her books. It's not quite, the second semester hasn't started yet, so it could still be in the post on the way there. Maybe there's some kind of delay. And then somebody else is trying to download the manager approval form for payment. Zulpha, do you perhaps know what that is again?
Is this the application form for the, sorry, I missed that.
Yes, the query is, I'm struggling to download the manager approval form for payment on the online admissions website.
Okay, I will get into contact with the student and we'll take it to the Salesforce team. Okay, so I'll take it offline.
Otherwise, you can just click on the poll as well,
Yes.
Nesiswa. Somebody will get in contact with you and sort you out on that side.
Yeah. That's also want to just pop in there and say, Hedy, like, guys, if you have any questions and you need help or you want some advice, please say yes on the poll. That gives us a tick that you have consented to us contacting you, and we will love to help you and assist you and get those things sorted. So do give a yes on the poll. So, guys, I just want to open up the floor to all of our speakers here, and if you want to leave any imparting wisdoms or any thoughts towards the people who are listening today. None?
I think it's worth noting that that bond certificate puts you up very well to progress to the PGDIP, the postgrad diploma that Harry mentioned. And that as a school, we are very proud of how well our students do in the board exam for the Certified Financial Planning Professional designation. It is not always an easy journey, but it's definitely a worthwhile journey with lots of rewards at the end. I want to invite you all to stay in contact with us. All of us have studied distance learning, I think, and have experience in sitting alone at home, late nights, early morning, behind your computer, behind your books, and feeling alone. And our role is to help you feel comfortable, to feel connected, and to just make sure that you know that you can reach out to us. We've got the Tutor forum that we set for academic queries. We've got Zulpha for admin queries. But also, if at any stage you feel that that doesn't meet your needs, please send us a mail. We'd love to hear from you, and we love to interact with you. So yes, we are here for you. And we're looking forward to having you in our live classes, to interacting with you on the different courses, and hopefully in a year or two's time to cap you at our graduation ceremonies.
Yes, I also want to add something about the qualification that I've come across this year, and just I just want to, I mean, this is a qualification you can do. You follow the process, you can get through this. We're here for you. The system works. But one thing is that you need to spend enough time on this. And I just want to, this is a 120 credit qualification. It's a full qualification. It's almost like a full second year at university. And I know a couple of students this year that underestimated the qualification. And I just want to say, listen, you gotta, when you just set yourself right, say, listen, I'm going to do this. You know, and then follow the process, and then everything should be fine. But there is a little bit, you do have to put in the effort. It's not a short course that you do on the side. You know, you have to put in some effort, you have to put in some work, and then, like we just said, the rewards come, you know, and it does open up doors for you as well.
Yeah. We try to be as flexible as possible. We understand that 90% of our students are working professionals, have families that they need to take care of. So we call it asynchronous learning. There's very little instances we expect of you to be at a specific place at a specific time. So if we have live classes and you can't attend, we record them. The only thing that we really expect of you to be at one place at one time is when you write the exam. But we've also moved on to online exams, which means that you don't have to drive to a venue. You can sit at home and do everything behind your computer. So I often get questions from students saying, oh, do you think it's worth doing? I'm 40 years old. I've got 3 kids. I'm a single parent. Is it really will it work for me? And the answer is yes, as long as you put in the time. As Harry said, we've got the resources and we designed the course to work around you and your responsibilities.
Awesome. No, I think that's, I mean, from my side as well, from the marketing side, I think that's one of the most amazing things about Mill Park is that the level of support and really the dedication of the team. I mean, you guys on the call towards the students and to them succeeding, which is always what makes me get up in the morning, because I know that we've got a fantastic set of people behind every single one of our students. And we look forward to welcoming you guys who are on the call, hopefully, to our fantastic faculty. We can get to know you. So guys, just a reminder, there is a poll. Please say yes. Say yes to the dress. It's not a dress, I promise. It's say yes to the poll. And we'd love to get in contact with you and tell us a little bit more. Well, you can tell us a little bit more about yourselves and get that connection going. If you have any issues, support, I don't know where to go next, also pop a yes there. We'll help you out. But from my side, I just want to say thank you so much to our fantastic team. It's been great to get to know you guys and to know a little bit more about the program and what the students can expect and what does Moodle look like and what are the modules about. I'm going to say that the session is recorded, guys, so don't feel like you have to remember all of this at once. We're not all superhuman with huge brains, so come back in here and check out the recording. We also post it on YouTube within the next day or so. So if you don't feel like coming back and doing that process, just go to YouTube. We'll be posting it there. We also have some great sessions coming, guys. Tomorrow we're doing the advanced certificate in short-term insurance, and then on Friday we're going to be talking about the postgrad in financial planning. So we'll be back with a couple of familiar faces to just talk more about the postgraduate journey and what to expect there. But from my side, that's all. And I'd like to say thank you again to our team, and I hope that everybody has a fantastic day and conquers their Wednesday.
Thank you,
and I always
I'm
going to say thanks so much to Sine, to Pietro, to Zulpha, to Brumhilde, and to Gerrie, and I'm going to wave and say goodbye and end the session. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.